What's good, what's good? I got about Steph. I react on his channel. Remember guys to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's get into it. So this video is someone random man at the summer timeline. I was like, looks interesting. It's not that deep. So let's see what my Bat Queen is gotta talk about.
Oh, it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. Bonjour, Nakamai. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Khadija. Don't get
Nice
used
to
to
meet
this.
ya.
Don't. I'm only here to remind you that I have a Patreon. You'll still get a video out of it, but the extended cut will be on Patreon, so check that out. Let's get into what I need to talk about. Okay, I don't know if you've been noticing, but I've been noticing that there are a lot of comments lately about people telling people that things aren't that deep. Things are not that deep. Why are you always thinking things are that deep?
What's not
I'm
deep?
always going to talk a bit about nuance and having compassion for that opinion, thinking from that person's side of view of why they might not think things are that deep. But I also need to tell y'all everything is that deep. Listen, it doesn't mean you got to care about everything, right? Imagine that. It doesn't mean you have to care about everything, because I think that that is a false.
When I think about it, is everything deep to me? Not really, but things are deep to me, yeah. But yeah. But then to me, yeah, a lot of things are not that deep. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Promise. You're gonna be exhausted, girl. Pick some things to care about and give it your all. But having that said, I'm gonna, of course, talk about some speculations that I have for why we've kind of gotten back into this not that deep, too woke, let me say my slurs and be racist in public and hate women in peace, god damn it. Why we've gotten back to that, not just like a conservative swing, but just like in general, people really walking around acting not smart. Part of that is that it's not that deep. Part of that is also the literacy rates or the functionally illiterate rates. We'll talk about it, don't worry. I think also there's something to be said for Miss AI. Miss AI. Hey, Miss Murder, can I? Because they were AI.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. I'm sure she's seen that shit as well, man. So, hey, she has seen on X, people going crazy, man, making girls work up photos. Just hey. I didn't even get into it, man. It's crazy. On X, bro. X is crazy.
I think it's that group. No, AE. What was that group called? Anyway, we need to talk about AI summaries, AI in general, and people not being able to tell the difference. Again, it still connects back to the everything is that deep. All the mis and disinformation that we're all getting, again, contributes to the it is that deep. Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. Next slide, Elowin. One of the main reasons I think a lot of people are starting to walk around saying it's not that deep to damn near everything that maybe they would have thought was that deep a few years ago even, is because there's a lot of mis and disinformation out there. People be lying online, and it's very easy to pretend that you're a reputable source, pretend that you're sharing the...
That's very true. A lot of people can just be like, and just say that they have the news about a certain thing, and then you go on a page, you got like 20 followers, and they're paying for that, for the verification on a page, like
quote unquote news, give the aesthetic and vibe and sort of aura of a journalist without actually being one. It's very easy to do that. And even if you have standards in place for yourself that journalists would also have, not everybody's like that. And not enough of us are curious enough to look beyond what we see in a video or in a summary. So a lot of...
Yeah, I agree with her. We gotta work on the citation of things, you know. We're going to look back and check it back about facts, whether they're speaking or not, whether they're speaking out their mouth, you know. Yeah, we gotta start fact checking people, like, where did you get that evidence from, you know? So is it from a certain study you did that says like in 1950, 1960, how many tests were run, like, you know? Yeah, I hear that, yeah.
We'll just go with that. And the passive information that we constantly get, on top of the fact that a lot of it might not be accurate, it's difficult for a lot of people to sift through. It can sometimes make it tiring as well, because it's like, I just want to find information without having to worry about where it's come from or worry that it's not a reliable or trustworthy source.
Yeah, but now you have to, though. Yeah, I mean, I suppose depending on where you get your news or information from, you just gotta double check where it's coming from, you know what I mean?
did it. Y'all thought I was gonna do a sponsor read. Nah, it would have been a good time too. Anyway, as much as we have in this time period, especially really grown to loathe gatekeepers or just be like, you know, the idea of gatekeeping not being cool and all that, I think we're slowly starting to
Hey man, certain things you have to gatekeep though. Certain things you can't let everyone know about until everyone knows about it, and it just gets run up by everybody and it just gets run up and price go up. You're like, fuck man. Certain things, you know, what certain things would I categorize as gatekeeping? You know, it's very different person to person. You know what I mean? I can't think of a top of my head. I'll be real. Mine is gone tumbleweed, bro.
that is the top of their field. They've studied or practiced, worked a lot in what they are doing. They might have more discernment in what they're talking about than you, Joe Blow off the street, right?
Yeah, of
Journalists have certain standards and practices that they have to abide by. And it's not to say every single journalist does. It's not to say that every single news site is reputable, because we know that there are some people who own newspapers.
Bezo, my nigga.
Sometimes they don't be saying shit that you might want to hear. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's important to have a variety of news sources and all that. But anyway, it used to be that you didn't get your news from a device in your phone. You got it from a newspaper. Or when the 24-hour news cycle started, you only got it from them. Newspaper and anchors.
Yeah.
Maybe people in your life.
You ever them guys? I see in movies where there's a kid riding a bike with a sling full of newspapers. You chucking newspapers up. That door was just everyone's doors. I suppose that's how it used to be when everyone just, you know, the other dads just, you know, get in the first in the morning, and chill in the morning, and watch the thing, what's going on in the day or in the year, it's the week or day, what country you live in, whatever. Whatever the update is, you know what I mean? The newspaper update, how long it, whatever, you know what I mean? But now it's on your phones.
But that's also why the life cycle of stories was so much longer, because the media got to decide what we were interested in, what they would feed us, and we.
Yeah, because I guess it's too many information out there. We can just sift through everything. But newspaper, I suppose, you have a certain amount of pages. You gotta specify what's important, what's not. Take out that shit, add that shit. What does the crowd want? Did they want more sports to the front page? Yeah, slap on Rooney at the front page because he was doing bits in the early noughties.
Also, kind of a chicken and egg. We're like, this is what we want to say. So it's not to say that people weren't getting false information back then either, or a very biased point of view, even if journalists claim to be objective. But it is to say that there was at least an attempt, I think. And now there's less of that. Now it's if you're trying to be quote unquote objective, which I know you can't truly be, but if you're trying to see things from both or multiple perspectives, you a demon. You've chosen already. How dare.
Yeah. You can't have it's either you'll be hot and cold, black or white, you know what I mean?
You.
She's funny, man.
I care a lot about understanding and unpacking things and learning about things, and I like to be curious. That requires a suspension of judgment from me for some things and people that I may not like or agree with, so that I can better understand.
Listen. The way she articulated herself, the way she's, you know, she landed on points beautifully. This is sign of an intelligent person. He's intelligent. He's very smart.
So that I can acknowledge that things really are that deep. We've lost our sort of filtration system, and now we're not only bombarded with information that we have to parse out and figure out if it's true or false or whatever.
That's the thing, there's so much information, you just like, bruh. What they believe. So like, honestly, with me, that's why like, on my timeline, on my Twitter feed, I be just, because I'm just like, I don't care. Is this even real? No, I don't care. Like, certain things I'm interested in, cool. But I think there's just too much information for the human being to fathom It's too much. We're taking too much information every day. To be honest, I think that made me think. I do go decrease my screen time now, because yeah, I'm doing too much. But yeah, man, we taking too much information and bombarded with too much shit, and we just get lost in the world. We become obsessed with these celebrities, and I kind of live life through these people, and yeah, it's actually crazy out here for real.
Might not even bother to do that. It's also kind of like become a game of telephone. People will say something, then it gets passed and passed and passed, and by the time you hear the news, it's just better to go to the source.
See, I think you said that. I thought of Chinese whispers in there. Someone said something, and guess you like what? And then they asked what was said. Something completely different in it. Yeah, like she's right. It's how it goes, man. Someone says something, and then it gets wafted. Changed or word changed, and then the real meaning disappears because different words have different meanings, and then yeah.
It's just better to go to the original source or double check a source. But I think a lot of us love to speculate and we love to gossip. It's fun. I love it too.
We love it. We love it.
I think that's why blind items are also so popular, because people love to speculate and want to believe.
This is why we love shows like Not Me. It's for the goddamn love Island. They love those Gossip Girl. All this film was all this the stuff happening, like chaos, and like, you know, it gets their brain moving, you know what I mean? This mentally stimulating, you know what I mean? I mean, even this guy like us niggas too, we love when shit goes on, and you know what I mean? Like when I watch shows, I just when I was going beef. I seen people start swinging and start hitting each other like, yeah, what's going on? What's your problem, man?
These things are true, and it's not to say that they're all false. Sometimes they are true. But also, we would rather have our speculations and suspicions confirmed than see maybe the truth of a situation. You know what I'm trying to say? It seems like a lot of the times now, you don't just get the news or whatever else is going on in the world. You get a perspective of the news and what's going on in the world that deeply reflects yours, your side, your opinion, how you feel, your emotions, all of that.
And it's to do with your algorithm as well. You know what I mean? It kind of like gathers all the information about the things you like, and then like your feed just kind of just like lands everything that just fits your narrative. It's everything you like, and it's just like, I do find it weird. Like on one hand, it's so smart how they've create this algorithm where everyone just like has their own just like narrative. I don't know what podcast someone talked about, like where like each person has like their own profile of things they like, and like the AI kind of fits that, goes onto it, and then it's like that's you. That's your timeline. That's everything you love, and actually locked in, and that's for you on your phone like 10 hours a day. Some might be like. Something like 24 hours, man, on it all day, every day.
Good, because it's rage bait. You're not being necessarily challenged, and I'm not saying being constantly emotionally attacked for who you are is being challenged. I'm saying there's a lack of understanding that the world is a lot bigger than your perspective.
Yeah,
you're not actively.
You're stuck in that bubble, and you think you love it because that's just you. You come in the comfort zone. Like, this is great. This is me. You know what I mean? And anything opposing, you're like, you're opposing me? You're opposing my views? Hey, hell no, you're crazy. You know what I mean?
Choosing to go beyond your own perspective. Another part of this information system that I think we gotta really chill out on is the AI summaries. AI summaries themselves are designed to not be deep. Their summaries are designed that way. It's a summary, it's an overview. It's a superficial little, this is just kind of like the gist of what we're trying to say. Sometimes those summaries are not fully correct. The BBC did their own study asking ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini, and Perplexity, I don't know who that is, to quote, summarize 100 news stories and rated each answer. They found that 51%.
Perplexity, I think that's Microsoft.
percent of all AI answers to questions about the news were judged to have significant issues of some form. 19% of the AI answers, which cited BBC content, introduced factual errors, such as incorrect factual statements, numbers, and dates. And it's not to say that you can never trust an AI summary, but it's to say, again, it's taking information from so many places, and sometimes those places are wrong on a website or being sarcastic and AI can't tell the difference. It'll just throw that into summaries. So you have to be more mindful. You have to dig deeper. Maybe look at an AI summary, be like, okay, work, thanks so much for this, girl. Now I need to go do something else. And I know some of y'all are like, no, don't encourage anybody to use AI. Google, I don't know how to get rid of that AI summary thing that just pops up, girl. So some of us, it's just there. And some people use it.
I just feel like, okay, I use it for a lot of things in my life just to keep me organized. So like planning my trips. Hey, planning trips, okay. Give me a rough idea of what I should do. I can pick out that thing, okay. And I think about what do I do? Add it in there, boom, boom. Things like that I'll do, you know. And like simple questions like, give me ingredients for this kind of meal, boom, put it up real quick. It's just quick. It's just a quick little ask a question, it gives you your answer. That's me, you know. Some create a relationship, that shit, you know what I mean? Some start like call me daddy.
There's AI and so much shit that we use. There's AI and stuff that I probably don't even know that I use that makes my life easier. So I'm not trying to judge anybody, but I am saying at a certain point, you got to be like, okay, I need to start remembering that my brain is a muscle that I got to work again, because I'm just over here letting these summaries tell me shit, letting people online
tell me. To be fair, that is so true. And that makes me think about myself. Like, man, my brain, it is slow. It's slow sometimes. It can be, this quick sometimes here and there, comes in bursts here and there. But, and I think a good way is everything she's got in the back right there is, books. I need to read some more books, man. Get my vocab back to my prime, because my vocab is good, but it can get a lot better. I mean, for real. You need learn some more bigger words, you know.
Shit, not really going to the source of the information, and then a little before I know it, I'm thinking less and less, not even just for myself, but in general. And whenever people say shit, I'm like, it's not that deep. Who cares? Whatever. Let's talk about the importance of literacy, curiosity. Refusal to give the tool of literacy is refusal to give access to the world. Andrea Dworkin. As a child, I learned that reading was fundamental. Very, very, very important. Butterfly in the sky.
What did I just say, man? Reading, man. That goes a long way. You know what I mean? It goes a long way. There's a book I'm about to start. I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's called... Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, I need to have a book.
I can go twice as high. Take a look. Vocals. It's in a book. Yeah. Reading Rainbow. Go. You know, I'm sorry. The extended cut will be on my Patreon. Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. I used to go to the library every weekend with my dad and my sister.
I used to have a library card. I used to be a regular at the library. Books. I used to be a book. Wow. It's something, man. My vocab used to be amazing. I speak so well. No. I speak so well. It's gone bad.
My aunt taught me how to read when I was a kid and write, because she used to be an English teacher and my school wasn't doing that great of a job. So I've always loved and appreciated not just being able to literally read and write, but the way that skill has helped me communicate in the world and understand the world, see the symbols of language and go, fascinating. It's also helped me develop that skill to be able to read more complex complex things. I'm not gonna act like I can read the most complex shit. I'm smart, but I'm real dumb, you know? But the more I practiced and learned and read, the more I practiced and learned and read. And it goes on and on and on. Okay, God. According to UNESCO, literacy is the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, and compute using printed and written materials associated with varying texts. Literacy involves a continuum of learning and enabling individuals to achieve their goals, to develop their knowledge and potential, and to participate fully in their community and wider society. The more you know, the more you know. But really, the more you know.
The more you know, the more you know. Also, the more you know, you know. That phrase again is like, the more you know, the better you do. You know what I mean? Something like that. If you know the phrase, like, leave in the comments, man. But yeah, it's like something about if you know better, you do better. Yeah, you know better, you do better. Yeah.
The better you're able to contribute to the world around you. The running joke in a lot of comments is always when people say dumb shit, open the schools. Or my new favorite, some children were in fact left behind. So wrong. Oh, it's so wrong.
Left behind, man.
It's true-ish because apparently the reading rate has gone down for 8th graders since about 2017, and that was before Miss Rona. I'm saying something very obvious, but in a way I'm talking to the it's not that deep.
Damn. So your kid is born after 2017. Yeah. But against my extra tutors, so you're gonna read that off my cement. You know that bit was legendary, man. I got popped in the head, man.
People, because they're probably like, girl, what are you even talking about? Yes, we know reading is important. You need to be able to read and write. Okay, cool. But it goes beyond that. The basic skill of being able to read and write is great. And then being able to read more complex things, to be able to read and understand more complex ideas, to be able to think on and contemplate, to be able to see something and go, I think that's actually AI, because you've learned more about what AI looks like, what's changing, how it's evolving, how it's getting so good, and what you can look for so that you don't fall for an AI video like this one of these dark-skinned girls that they seem to love on TikTok. And then I go in the comments and so many people don't know it's AI, and I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah. And listen, I've fallen for AI slop too.
That's the thing. She's good. I mean, I don't know what to say. She's cooking.
But that is why I've tried to learn more about it. And it does, I'm not fully educated.
That's the thing. You learn more about it, you recognize it a lot easier.
I'm not trying to get a master's degree or anything in artificial intelligence, but I want to educate myself to learn more about it so that I'm not susceptible to falling for it. The more you know, the more you see what I'm saying? The other reason that I think it is important for the it's not that deep people to start to consider things a bit more, and for the people that it is that deep to maybe have a bit more compassion and patience and like cognitive empathy for folks that might not think something is that deep, is because we fundamentally, it doesn't seem like most of us understand each other. I see this online a lot. People get into arguments, misread each other over the simplest things, and sometimes somebody is making...
That is actually so true, because like you say something and someone can miss the whole point because you mean it in a certain way, and because that is, you know, dumb. They don't understand you. I know you're arguing because you don't understand what you're trying to say.
A really smart argument, and I understand what they're saying, but they're using words and terms that the average people maybe don't even understand, won't use, won't look up, can't comprehend. I always call them $50 words. And they're expecting there to be some sort of communication there, when you can't communicate with somebody that is on a different language skill level than you. I'm trying not to be rude. I hope that doesn't sound rude, but it's true.
Like sometimes, you know when you're talking to somebody, I know it's happened to me, just me, but like you're talking to somebody about, and you say a certain word and they're like, oh wait, whoa, what do I mean? And I was like, that's I think like, yeah, you ain't got that vocab level. Level I'm 100. Your vocal level around 2010. Nah, you damn 10. You're not gonna explain to you what the word means, because I'm educated, bro. Get a tutor. Get a tutor. Get a private school. Oh my gosh. You bred up.
There are people that comment women now when they mean one woman. The singular woman, they're not saying that. They're saying women, plural, that literally just can't read captions. Somebody will write a caption, post a video.
And then it's always, you know, it's when they get that there's wrong, you know, when they mean there's as in like and then they spell it as with a hyphen ERD. You're intelligent, buddy.
Saying, hey, blah, 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 more in caption. And people will just get mad and comment. And it's like, but did you read the caption? And not just summarize the whole thing. Yo, people are constantly, I'm seeing now, saying the wrong two, and two, there, and there. Yep. I understand it. Sometimes people can be very bougie and rude and elitist about grammar and language. Yes. And again, at a certain point, we have to agree on what words mean and how they're spelt and stuff for understanding and communication to be clear. We just have to. I'll read people's comments sometimes, and when they're using the wrong version of whatever, it takes me a while to understand what they're actually trying.
Yeah, you got to get that to be like, wait, what did he actually mean by that? Whatever, like, do you mean this way? Do you mean that way? You're trying to understand it from their perspective, from what they mean by that. Yeah, I understand.
To say it's difficult for them to communicate with me or for me to understand what they're saying because we are on different levels of language comprehension. You see what I'm saying? It is unfortunate how many of us have taken just the fun of even just reading a good book and let it fall by the wayside so much and only consume video content that generally ends up being very biased towards our opinion and our side. I'll also see in comments people saying one idea and repeating it in every other comment of a video. When Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend album cover came out, somebody commented, "You lack the nuance. Your music lacks the radicalness to..."
Oh my gosh.
I can't even remember what it was.
Well, here am I, man. Her music lacks the radicalization necessary to subvert the imagery she employs. She wants to be a strong feminist, but also the appeal, the male glaze by her hypersexuality, and puts herself in the situation. She wants to have her cake eaten too. Yeah, and this guy don't get clay, don't get enough. You don't get enough.
Music lacks the radicalness to... Ellen put the comment up. I can't even remember what it was. And I kept seeing so many fucking people comment that after a while I was like, do you know what that means? I'm still trying to understand what you're saying with the... Your music lacks the radical... But is she trying to be radical? Like,
radical!
I was baffled. Another example, probably my favorite example that I've seen recently, is from the season 5 opener of The Wire. As y'all know, if you saw my video on my other channel, I've been obsessed with that show. Basically, these two dudes are being held in custody for murder, and they've already tricked one of the dudes into thinking that his friend has confessed because they got him to walk by with some McDonald's and were like, your buddy sang for his order, blah, 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 blah. But then they do something even crazier. They put this man's hand on a copy machine and pretend it is a lie detector test. There's no lawyers there. There's no doctor, no professor, whatever you would call the person that is actually running the machine. They tape his hand to it, and then they print out the words true or false. Before this, one of the officers says to the other,
this shit actually works, huh?
Hell yeah. Americans are stupid people by and large. We pretty much believe whatever we're told.
Now, this kid, as The Wire is known to do, probably has a different type of intelligence, a different type of street smarts, whatever, right? Or maybe he's just dumb, who knows, right? But the basic common knowledge of something like, okay, the cops are the only ones here, and I'm in an office space with a copy machine. This is probably a kid who most likely dropped out of school anyway. I'm not saying if he stayed in school, he probably would have known what a copy machine was. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. But the point is, if he had more knowledge, if he was more learned, he wouldn't have fallen for something damn stupid.
If you... That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, when people do dumb stuff, I automatically think like, yeah, your comprehension skills aren't that well. You know, like, come on, man, put you on the printer. Like, yeah, like, yeah.
And this is
you ain't here. Like, people that understand. I don't know what to say. That's actually ridiculous that what happened at my mind.
When you are not educated, it's very easy to manipulate you. It is very easy. When you don't know about something or enough about something, it is very easy to be manipulated by somebody who feels like they might know more or feels like an authority. And our phone gives us access to a bunch of different types of authorities. We get all the opinions, we take them to heart, some of us, we engage superficially in all the discourse we're seeing. We're not even really maybe deeply engaging with it the way that we could, not just online talking about it, but like offline learning and pondering and considering, getting curious about all the different discourse. No, we just like to superficially, this is the discourse of the week that we're upset about now, that we want to talk about now. We don't want to have patience or give it time to ruminate, give us time to change our feelings, give us time to think a bit more. We want to speak emotionally. We want to act emotionally. That's another type of literacy that we could talk about. Emotionally literate. Listen, this is literacy. I'm saying literacy, but it's really about education and being learned, which to me is about curiosity, is about being open-minded, is about...
I'm right to more, man. Like, should we get my brain moving?
Kind of being like a scientist. You go in, maybe you have an idea or a bias, but that's not where you live. You're willing to have your mind changed. You're willing to have your mind opened, to have your mind expanded. And finally, I just want to say, for those of you that are like, oh no, well, who cares, blah, blah. Education is fine and all, but like people are too hoity-toity about education and they make it seem like it's the end all be all. Unfortunately, it's not causation, but there has been some correlation between your literacy rate and your quality of life. Being more educated, being more literate, more learned, again, it provides you a certain access to maybe more money, more opportunities than it would if you don't sound smart to people, if you don't sound like you think about things, if you just sound like you regurgitate the things that you hear and this, that, and the third, you're only gonna go but so far. Curiosity.
Yeah. He's cooking. He's really cooking here, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, put that phone down. Put that phone down. Pick up a goddamn book.
And the deep well.
Educate yourself.
It provides will only go as deep as you will allow it, as deep as you want it to. For those of you that maybe think things aren't that deep, I would encourage you to, anytime you see that, maybe reconsider. Obviously, again, trying to care about every single thing means you just end up being kind of superficially caring about everything. And I think it's better to like think about a few core values and things.
That's the thing. Yeah, like have things that you care about and you value, and I suppose willing to stand up for, you know what I'm trying to say. And also, I suppose, know what you're talking about, you know what I'm trying to say. And know where information's coming from, whether it's real, whether it's accurate, and you got stuff to back it up, whether it's a study or a verse in the Quran or whatever in the Bible.
That you want to actually learn about in the world. I always talk about like Miss America causes and things like that, how you want to contribute to the world and let that be your focus as opposed to trying to superficially learn about everything. But anyway, I think we should encourage kids and all of us in general to read more. That's why I think even though Book Talk will have its problems, just like any TikTok community, it's good. It gets people excited. There's so many book to film adaptations, book to TV show adaptations that are making people read more. And I think that's great as well. It is important to just have solitude to yourself, going through a good book, a good universe, whatever it is, a fictional one, a real one, learning more about the world through the lens of somebody maybe you would have never expected to learn from and that you probably wouldn't have learned from, because I was gonna say most authors don't have TikTok. I'm lying. Obviously they do. Maybe. But yeah, unfortunately, a lot of things are that deep. And for it's always that deep, people, I want to talk to you a bit about the cognitive empathy and compassion you can extend to people that might have that be their knee-jerk reaction that things aren't that deep. That's going to be in the extended cut. And I'm putting the extended cut because I know my patrons are more likely to be it is that deep. So let's chat. The rest of you, it was good to see you real quick. A lot of y'all have been treating me like Rihanna in that music. Comments, y'all are funny.
Cool, she gets my brain when she's a really intelligent person. But yeah, man, you got some real time effects, man. Yeah, put that goddamn iPad down, put that laptop down, close that shit. Good book. Let me get a book right now. Let me get a book right now. Hold on. Shout out to my man Kai. I know you're reading that one right now. Talk about Hammets, man. Read a book. Open it up. Open it up. Yeah. Put our phone now. But yeah, that's it today, guys. In a bit, yeah.